The strikes are having their impact. The entire Marvel TV slate for Disney Plus has been completely shuffled up, except for Loki, which I think comes out in October. But Ironheart, Daredevil, Born Again, and Wonder Man have been placed on indefinite hiatus. Agatha has been renamed for a third time, and then they delayed Echo, which was supposed to, I think, drop all 6 episodes at the same time in November. I think they've moved that one as well. Let's get into this here. Scheduling shakeup was first confirmed, or at least reported on September 1st, courtesy of The Hollywood Reporter. Per the outlet sources, Marvel reportedly undertook the shuffle as part of an effort to, quote, to make each title an event for fans and audiences, which itself was born out of the studio's recent realization that spreading out its content is a more prudent strategy. I think we've seen this before. They've given this excuse for Star Wars, where we were putting out too much content too quickly, and that's what was really the problem. But that didn't really make any sense because at the same time that they were making that excuse for Star Wars, you had Marvel coming out with a lot of stuff, 2 or 3 films, and actually doing really well. That was back in like phase 3, back in like 2018, 2017, 2019, before it completely decided to ape Star Wars and just absolutely nosedive as far as quality. I think this is absolutely ridiculous solution for their problems. Their problem is quality. It has nothing to do with the quantity. It is purely a quality thing. Although I know Bob Iger was saying that they had actually spread the studio too thin, so all of their employees were just working on too many different projects, and that was potentially why the quality had declined. I don't know if I actually buy that either. I just think they have a bunch of really bad people over there that don't know what they're doing when it comes to story. And I don't even think that they're trying to create quality content. I think at the end of the day, they're really just trying to propagandize people into absolutely sick, disgusting, and evil ideologies. Nevertheless, let's go on here. As such, Marvel's 2023 TV schedule currently looks vastly different from the over-bloated release roadmap unveiled by studio head Kevin Feige at San Diego Comic-Con 2022. Again, I don't really think having lots of stuff, it really means it's over-bloated. That's Spencer's opinion here in this article. I think if you had a lot of really good content and it was all kind of back to back to back, I think people would love that. People would be like, give me more, give me more. You have like, put it in my veins. Like, remember people would be saying stuff like that if it was actually really good, but no one has that anymore. You have Secret Invasion, which is posting like second worst Disney Plus numbers just ahead of Miss Marvel. So where once 2023 was set to see the release of 7 total Disney Plus projects, Secret Invasion, What If, Season 2, Loki Season 2, Echo, Ironheart, Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, and the X-Men 97 animated series as well. The studio will instead end the year having released a drastically reduced slate. As previously confirmed following the recent Secret Invasion series, Marvel will air the second season of Loki, which is currently on track to premiere on October 6th. From there, the studio will close out 2023 with the second season of What If, which months after being taken off of Marvel's official release schedule has now been given an official debut date of Christmas Day. Originally, Loki was set to be followed roughly 2 months later by the premiere of Echo, a Hawkeye spinoff focused on Alaqua Cox's titular deaf and disabled heroine. However, the series, which will be the first MCU TV series to have all of its episodes dumped onto Disney Plus at the same time rather than released on a weekly schedule, has now been pushed back from November 29th to an undetermined date in January 2024. Though not an MCU entry, I'm not sure if it isn't. I think it potentially could be. I think they might introduce the X-Men through this animated show. We'll see what happens there. It does seem to be a launching point potentially for the X-Men. I don't know what is going on with Wolverine in that image. His head is it just looks weird. Is that from the? That's from the 1992 one. His head is like this. That's kind of just weird to me. Anyway, once aiming for our fall 2023 premiere, the return of the fan favorite mutant team will now take place on an unspecified date in early 2024. I actually think that's probably the best thing. I have really low expectations for that show. There's so much information that it's going to be woke that's come out especially from the showrunner and his kind of vision for it and how he's going to turn the X-Men into allegory. So all the SJWs and woke people will probably love it and be like, this is what the X-Men were always about, having never read X-Men 1, where it has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of allegory like that. I don't think it was really any kind of allegory like that until Chris Claremont took over when he basically rebooted it in the late 70s, I believe, early 80s. Then the series, formerly known as Agatha Coven of Chaos, it now has a new name. We get Agatha Darkhold Diaries. The Catherine Hahn-led WandaVision spinoff has been bumped from its hopeful winter 2023 release date to the Halloween season of fall 2024. I wonder why they decided to change the name. Maybe they realized that all the pro-witch promotion was turning a lot of people off. I don't know. The last of the studios. If you have an idea on why they might have changed the name, let me know, because I think Darkhold Diaries sounds absolutely terrible for a name for a television show. Terrible. The last of the studios originally planned 2023 releases, despite having already been pushed back into next year. Ironheart has also been hit with yet another delay after having previously been put on indefinite hiatus before being given a rough 2024 release window. The series no one wants has now been put back in limbo due to the aforementioned Hollywood strikes, preventing completion of its production. To that end, Riri Williams' solo outing is not the only Marvel production to be affected by these strikes. We now have Daredevil Born Again and the Yahya Abdul-Mateen II-led Wonder Man series. The suspension of the latter by THR being the first confirmation of both the former Black Manta actors casting as the title hero and the series having begun production, or at least pre-production, I guess. Far from the first shakeup to the studio's TV plans, this update comes just several months after Marvel boss Kevin Feige confirmed that in light of the ratings failures of Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk Attorney at Law, the pace at which we're putting out the Disney Plus shows will change so they can each get a chance to shine. Again, I don't really think that has anything to do with it. I mean, I guess maybe you'll have a focus on it, but it's not like they aren't going to have competition from other shows. They might get lucky where you'll have like something like Ahsoka where there's literally nothing else out there competing with it when it dropped in its first week. But as we've seen now, there's lots of things competing with it in kind of that same genre. You've got One Piece over on Netflix and Wheel of Time over on Prime Video. Whether or not those can significantly compete with it, they are things that can now that are kind of within that same kind of fantasy genre that can compete with it. I think when we are doing about 8 projects a year, and again, I said this is going to shift a little bit, they all have to be different. They all have to stand apart and stand alone and be different from one another. I actually disagree with this. I think you can have similar storytelling. I mean, just look at things like NCIS, CSI, Law and Order. They all have, they're all very similar. Obviously, there's a little bit differences here and there, but they all are very, very similar and do really well, and people like to watch them, and they continue to watch them on streaming, not just on cable. So I kind of disagree with this assertion. I think you have some very easily seen shows that kind of disprove that idea. And superheroes, right? You're going to have superheroes. There's obviously different characters doing different things, but at the end of the day, they're still being superheroes, putting the bad guy, or should be at least putting the bad guy, stopping the bad guys, and making heroics, helping save the day, etc. Whether or not they're the type of bad guy they're going against obviously can change, and how they stop them can change too, depending on the hero and stuff like that. So you have their differences, but at the end of the day, they're stopping crime and helping people and putting a stop to innocents being harmed. So Disney CEO Bob Iger would reiterate the company's commitment to this curation strategy during the company's August 9th Q3 2023 earnings call. He said, speaking to the House, he said, we're focused on improving the quality of our films and on better economics, not just reducing the number of titles we release, but also the cost per title. We'll see if they actually improve the quality. I doubt any of these shows' qualities have improved. I really don't think that them being pushed back, quote unquote, having this chance to shine is going to do anything. But let me know what you think of this. What do you think about them moving the schedule? Do you think Disney is feeling the pain from the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like videos like this, please hit that like button and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any other videos from Bounding into Comics.
Subscribe for more.